Hey guys, it's Natalia here with Almond Cow, and today I'm going to teach you how to turn your pulp into flour or meal. Turning your pulp into flour or meal is actually super easy and can be used in so many recipes. So how exactly do we do that? The first step is to drain your pulp. Stand the top of the Almond Cow with the filter basket still attached in the collector cup and let the pulp drain for a few minutes. Then remove the top and use a spoon to press the pulp and remove as much liquid from the pulp as possible. Once the pulp is on the drier side, transfer it to a piece of parchment paper for easy removal and spread the pulp into a flat, even layer. Then place your baking tray in the oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 to 2 hours, depending on how hot your oven gets, the dryness of your pulp, and the ingredients used. When it's ready, you can use a spatula to scrape the pulp off the sheet and then crumble it. You can stop right here and just enjoy the pulp as granola. If you do that, be sure to let it cool completely and then store it in an airtight container or jar. But if you want to turn this granola into flour or meal, there's one more quick step. Once you've allowed the granola to cool completely, transfer it to a blender or a food processor and blend or pulse it until it becomes flour or meal-like. That's it. Just so you have something to compare it to, here's a side-by-side comparison of store-bought almond flour, store-bought almond meal, and homemade Almond Cow pulp flour. So as you can see, it pretty much looks the same as store-bought almond meal. It has that same nutty texture and pretty much the same color as well. Pulp flour can be used in so many recipes, but it's just one option. It can be used in most recipes that call for nut flour, from baked goods to pancakes to waffles. There are tons of possibilities. Regular pulp that hasn't been turned into pulp flour can also be used in so many recipes. It just can't be used interchangeably with nut flours, but it can be used as part of the nut flour blend in a recipe. To give you a better idea of what this looks like, I've gone ahead and baked 2 batches of cookies today, using my go-to recipe that calls for 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. So for the first batch, I used 3/4 of a cup of almond pulp flour to replace the store-bought almond flour entirely. And for the second batch, I used 1/2 cup of almond pulp flour to 1/4 cup of regular almond pulp that was not turned into flour. As you can see, they're pretty much exactly the same. Texture-wise, they're also exactly the same, which just goes to show you can use both almond pulp flour and regular almond pulp in just slightly different ratios to achieve the same texture, the same consistency. But it doesn't stop at baked goods. Rather than trying to mimic flour, there are so many other ways that you can use regular pulp without having to turn it into flour. From smoothies to pies to no-baked goods to overnight oats, the possibilities really are endless. Head to our website to try some recipes.